Welcome back. You're listening to Houston Real Estate Radio. Thanks for listening this Sunday. Hope you've enjoyed our Memorial Day show. Lots of great things going on around the city today. And we had a lot of fun interviewing folks that have charities of choice that are veteran focused. So great weekend here on the show. I've got Tom Patterson and David Coleman in the studio with me this segment. We're changing focus here. They're from United Country Real Estate, Coleman and Patterson. They are a real estate and auction company. So this is exciting. We've never had an auction company on the show. So this is exciting today. Talking to them, you definitely want to listen to this. They've got some great things to tell us. So what are you guys going to be selling at the auction?
Well, we've got 15 waterfront lots. We're going to be auctioning off down at Bay Harbor in Matagorda. Nice, good property there.
All on the water? Some of them on the water, or all of them?
All those 15 do have water frontage.
Wow.
We are also selling 5 cottage lots that are one road in. Good lots there as well. Mm-hmm. And then we're going to be selling 2.75 commercial acres. Has 2 commercial buildings on it as well. So got some really good property to offer at auction coming up next week.
It sounds exciting. You guys have been doing this for a long time, huh?
We've been in the business a pretty good while.
So when is the auction's going to be? Next weekend?
It's going to be on the 29th. It's actually a Friday sale.
Okay.
We try not to compete with soccer, so people take off work to go buy real estate, but not necessarily leave their kids' soccer game. But yeah, it'll be Friday the 29th. It's a 10 a.m. auction. It is at the subdivision. It's Alpha Slip Road in Matagorda, Texas. If you got GPS, that'll get you right to it.
Fantastic. All right.
We'll be having that sale rain or shine. So
rain or shine.
Rain or shine, we'll be there. We've got a backup plan. So I know it's been raining a lot, but don't worry about that.
Very good. All right. And why did this seller in this neighborhood decide to do an auction versus listing it out there in the MLS system?
Well, they've had it for sale, and they've sold a lot or two along the way. Kind of ran into a roadblock with selling the lots like they wanted to, and it's an older gentleman and his son, and the older gentleman's ready to retire and ready to move back to the hill country. So quick liquidation. Get their investment back and move right on down the road was the main reason for doing the auction.
All right, and let's see. These properties, you said they're lots. There's no houses on them. They're just lots, right?
That's correct. No houses on this particular auction we're doing.
And some have waterfront, some don't. What else can you tell me about the property in the neighborhood?
Well, it's a great neighborhood. The development has been put in. It's been approved by the Corps of Engineers. They've done a really fantastic job whenever they built this. All concrete streets, underground utilities, great amenities whenever they put this in. Very good development. The waterfront lots have between 50 and 100 feet of frontage, of water frontage. They're approximately 10 to 12,000 square footage. So somewhere around 10 to
nice size lots.
Yeah, the good size lots. You can put a really nice house on there. On the cottage lots, they're one row in. They've all been approved for rentals. So if you want to build you a little house right there and rent it out, I know that the other houses that are out there in that area, they rent pretty regularly, so you can have your little income there as well. On the commercial building that we're selling, it's just down the road. It's on a hard corner, so it's got road frontage on 2 sides. Has the potential of bringing in about $2,400 per month in rental income, just the way it sits. Or if you had some other kind of grandeur idea as far as putting in a convenience store or RV park or something like that, it'd be a great spot for that as well.
Very good. All right. What are these going to sell for? What kind of pricing are we looking at?
Well, there's 2 lots that we're going to sell that are going to sell absolute regardless of price. And the developer wanted to do that just to let everybody know that they're serious about selling these. They really want to sell them, and so 2 of the lots, whatever they bring, they're absolutely going to sell those that day. The rest of the lots, I guess it just depends on what the market brings that day. It's hard to outguess what they're going to bring at the auction. We've seen kind of in the traditional market some comparables. We're around $200 to $2,500 per foot of water frontage. These may or may not bring that much that day. But we definitely expect them to do well and expect them to sell them whenever the auction's over.
What would be the price range that you feel like would be good for these?
Gosh, I don't know. It'll be auction prices, so whatever they get them for that day will probably be a pretty
Could
good
really
price.
run up the prices, huh?
I know it. So,
and a lot of that depends on who shows up. If it's an investor, obviously they're going to be trying to buy multiple lots at a package deal, and then the end user may reach out there and make sure they secure a lot at the auction. So,
what does multi-par a multi-par auction mean?
basically, that's an auction method that allows people to buy either one lot or multiple lots at a time. If I'm just out there trying to buy one lot, it allows me to compete against somebody else that is able to buy multiple lots. It's a great way of marketing this property like this when you have several tracts to sell like we do at this time, and it'll be a really good auction that day.
So, our listeners out there are wanting to know, like, at what price should I even come, right? I mean, you've really opened the door on this. So, I mean, if somebody only has, $20,000 in their pocket, should they still show up for the auction?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So all price points.
There is, and, I've seen it all at an auction, and that's why we're a little hesitant to give you a hard number, because it would be unfair to the buyer or the seller to set an unrealistic expectation whenever the market sets the price at the auction.
What's the name of the subdivision again?
It's Bay Harbor Subdivision.
Bay Harbor Subdivision in Matagorda. And if they want to come to it on Friday, what time do they need to be there?
Registration opens at 9.
Okay.
So just between 9 and 10 o'clock.
And then when does the auction happen?
The auction starts at 10, and we're going to go right into selling each of the individual lots first. And then if somebody wants to package lots together or buy the whole subdivision, then we'll offer it that way.
Wow, that'd be fun just to buy the whole subdivision.
Take
it off your hands.
That's right.
Right in one swoop.
Might as well.
So how do bidders register for the auction? What do they have to do?
They'll just be there that day. Just come to the auction and register there on site. If they are planning on bidding, they need to have a $10,000 cashier's check. They just make that payable to themselves, and they'll need that with them in order to register to bid. That will, if they are a high bidder, then they will use that as their earnest money. That'll go right with the contract to the title company. That's what be the earnest money that they put down.
Okay.
If you can also bid online, if you're unable to be at the auction, they can bid on proxy bid. That's proxybid.com, and go through that website in order to bid online. If you're going to do that, then you will need to wire the earnest money to us prior to that day. So just make sure that if you're going to bid online, that you get in touch with us and get all those arrangements made prior to the auction.
So they could actually go there and see it ahead of time and then bid online. They don't have to be there in person.
Can. They sure can.
Okay. And do they get any kind of option period, or they're with this? I mean, it's land, so it's not like you need to do inspections.
There's no inspections. There's no contingencies. There's no financing. It is what it is, and that's why the expectations are to get a good deal because of those terms. So yeah, as far as that though, they do get a title policy paid for by the seller.
Okay.
No encumbrances, no back taxes, so they can bid with confidence.
You don't have surveys on them, do you? They need to get a survey.
They will need to be surveyed.
Okay. So. All right. And what else does the bidder need to know? Anything else you can think of that we didn't talk about, that we didn't cover? We covered a lot.
We covered a lot today. There is a 10% buyer's premium. They'll need to keep that in mind whenever they're bidding. So basically, if they give for round figures $100,000, 10% would be $10,000. So the total contract price they would give would be $110,000.
Okay. All right.
And they'll have 30 days to close.
Okay.
Basically, the $10,000 down on the day of the auction, and the balance is due at closing.
Can they use a realtor?
They
Absolutely, they can.
And we would love for them to use a realtor. We pay a 2% cooperating fee to the realtor.
And if they don't have a realtor, I'm guessing you guys will write the contract. And if they do have a realtor, then the realtor will write their contract?
There's an auction contract, and we'll write it the day of the auction. So.
Okay, very good. Boy, you guys have... Okay, I want to hear an example. Somebody give me an example. Let me hear how you do it.
Go ahead, David. Play the record for us.
All right, here we go. I got 100,000. Here to give 100 to bid. 100,000. Get 100,000 on a bid now. 10, 110,000, 110, 120. Here to get 20, 20, 30, 30, 130,000, 130, 140, 140, now 50, 150, 160, 860,000. Sold it, $150,000.
I love it. All right, we'll see you next weekend here on Houston Real Estate Radio. If you missed any of today's show, catch us online at HoustonRealEstateRadio.com. And don't forget to check us out over on Facebook. We're trying to get up to 13,000 likes on our Facebook page. Go and check us out, facebook.com/Houston Real Estate Radio.
You